A lovely good evening, viewers. Welcome to NSAKA. It's a Thursday again, and we are back discussing different issues that are affecting the community, affecting our lives, social issues, relationships, marriages. And as usual, I am joined by HIMBA Malambo, who we're going to be together in today's exciting program. HIMBA, good evening.
Good evening, CJ. Good evening, viewers. And it's nice to be on the program again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Today we are having a very interesting topic, and we are dealing with exes. Dealing with exes. Himba. Derutianga na pari my ex. We are joined by Wom Kelewai.
My ex.
Good evening.
Good evening, countrymen and women, and our exes.
Not one.
One at this age.
Yeah, Wom Kelewai, that's a good one.
One only happens to Bajamama 20, Bajavali 20s. Notice till my 40s. One. Nishuri beka appearance.
Nishibari kuma 40 ni wangati.
Osa tuonerapo.
Yeah, imwe muri mu 30s. Imwe ndimo mukali kupenda na machani. Na tukumo ise tinaleka na upenda na tukumo tipenda na kamwa 1 2 3 in unity.
Yeah. Thank you. Viewers, as you have heard, tonight we are looking at how to deal with exes or dealing with exes. So please make sure you just share this broadcast, invite someone, let them be part of the conversation that we'll be looking at. You know, this issue concerning exes, it usually raises a lot of things. So let me start by putting out a disclaimer. If at all we mention anything that is similar to the experience we had with you,
Please.
In case you are our ex, please don't shoot at us.
Please,
Na court cases yali mu Zambia. Expect a writ of summons.
Okay.
Yes, Himba.
For this just 1 hour, you can 1 hour 30 minutes. But pretend if we say something that is direct to you, it's not you. We are just saying it because it has to be said. Pretend you didn't hear it, but we have to say it.
It's on behalf of a friend.
Yes.
So, viewers, please invite someone. We want to share these experiences when it comes to exes, how to handle exes, and we are here to educate one another. You've heard Wom Kelewai has already said that he doesn't even know how many exes he has. He can't even count using the fingers. So please be free to interact so that yes, Himba.
Nika does.
Lelo, she's going to if my wife listens to this program, she will just put me on she will put me on notice.
Yeah. Please, viewers, call someone, invite someone, share the link. We want to interact, and our phone lines will be open shortly. We would like just to get those experiences, your advice. And today on our page, we had shared something where this young lady needs advice. The ex, he was traveling from Livingston going to Chilabombwe, and the ex said he would like to sleep over so that akulingeko down kairika road driving angareme. So the lady was asking if it's okay, she shouldn't inform the husband, especially that the husband is out attending a workshop somewhere. He might take it the wrong way. He might make a deal out of it, a big deal out of it. So, yeah. And a number of comments came through. So, as we get the program starting, Himba, when we're talking about an ex, Ninda ni minute come back, but you guys say, me, I'm not even sure. Put my ex, never my ex. How would you define an ex?
You know, okay, for the program's sake, what we are talking about, we are talking about somebody whom you had a relationship with in the past, and where nzeko ni boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe you had sexual intercourse, we are basically talking about somebody who had a relationship with and it did not work out into maybe into marriage because of many reasons. There are many reasons that makes relationship not to work out, and it's not everyone that you date who is going to marry you definitely, or is going to be your life partner, or it's not also that everyone is like at the first person you meet in life they are going to marry you. It's not like that. Venangu balinamwaika first bama bapeza. Venangu ni mariseche. Waenda ku Eastern Province wabwera kulibo. Waenda ku Southern wabwera. Waenda ku Northern ni mariseche. Sampling. So basically we are talking about somebody you were in a relationship with, but it didn't work out that you got to the point where I could develop it into marriage. I raise my case, CJ. Manje kaya ngapita mvima sila kaya bama chita continue relationship.
Yeah, thank you, Himba. I'll throw the same question to you. Himba has given a definition, let me say a loose definition of an ex. Do you agree with that definition? Is there anything that you're adding or removing from it?
She emphasized on sexual intercourse. That was like When they just hold hands and they no longer hold hands. That's it. They become exes. But anyway, I know an ex. Of course, we know who an ex is. We don't have to explain what it means. It's the person that you were in a relationship and things could not work out the way you expected, and then you part companies, and that person becomes your ex, and you also become an ex from that other person. So yeah. So, but what happens is that I don't know if I should go in details, but what happens is that most people, when they become, they call themselves exes, we have this tendency of treating each other as enemies because we had a misunderstanding. Mostly it's misunderstanding, and sometimes it's like you don't just meet. You feel like you are out of place. And some it's you have either cheated on them, and then you part company. They can't stand your dishonest. So, but mostly you find that exes are considered to be enemies of the other ex.
Right.
Yeah. While you're on that one, yes, Himba.
There's something that has come into my mind as Keleba is saying. So if I want to tell you, now if I'm at my ex,
definitely yes.
So for the purpose of tonight's discussion, let's have all the definitions that Himba and Keleba has given. Is it safe to include even the ones that have been divorced?
Yes, it's an ex. I mean,
actually, ex at past.
Mostly exes supposed to be actually legitimately for the legitimate exes are those that were in an actual relationship, like a marriage, legal marriage, and then they separate,
Okay.
and they divorce. A divorce decree is entered, and then they are
Ex-wife.
gone separate way. Yes, then they become exes. You can call them ex-girlfriend, ex-wife. But then we have abused it. We have now given it to even to my friends, to my fling, to my one night in 2020. Then we just
Okay,
ex.
so Penet Kamba Pali my ex. You hinted a bit to say Kumankara and my enemies and whatever. Is it always the case that the relationship yama ex niyama enemies, that if you still on a bad note? Isn't it possible that if you still on a good note, where people are still friends?
It's only those who are matured and who really respect one another and respect each other's contribution when they were together in a relationship, even though we understand that sometimes we don't agree on everything we do, and sometimes you grow apart, that you don't feel the chemist is no longer there. So you have a mutual understanding. You see our friends, most of our friends in the Western world, you find that they treat their exes like they just become good friends, They greet each other, they visit one another. Some even went in an extent of bringing their exes back into their lives, like living together in the same house. But they didn't even touch each other. They have that trust. Manje sevatu kulina ma idioms tinalpanga munda wakudala suvuta kulima mawe
ati munda wakudala mamansion namverani vamanga mamansion vamanga mashopping mall
ati yai because in my ex no ukakambako tena ba ex pamene hapo kwa bwera na allegation. Your current husband or wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend, they become so dramatic. They don't even want anything to do with your ex. If you mention their names, they are like, umaenda, because no. Once they
fire whilst you're there. Himba, you've heard Womkirwais. Come on, Himba has dropped off again. I wanted a feminine response to what you were saying. Okay, so you can continue.
Inkani combat my exes bankale my enemies that we don't. Sometimes we just over dramatize things, We should actually appreciate that we have spent our lifestyle, or we have experienced more things from our exes. They have showed us how to be good in one way, in one thing or the other. They've taught us certain things that we thought we took for advantage. Now that we have moved on, you find that the next relationship you are in, it's much better than the previous, because you learned a lot from the previous relationship. And then you should appreciate, even though it's negative, but it's something that really has changed or sharpened you to be where you are. So we learn through mistakes. Nobody's perfect. So when we leave each other as exes, we don't have to treat our exes as enemies, public enemies number one, unless of course, sometimes you find that the end of the relationship may have ended at a very, very terrible note. But we know there's what you call maturity. As you grow, as you evolve, if you keep on holding the grudge, you are not going to succeed, because you want to teach your ex a lesson, or you want your ex to see how successful you have been. So you want to overdo certain things. Then you forget to live your normal life. So you stress. So it is imperative that we try, by all means, to simply accept the fact that, yes, we have exes and we don't have to treat them as enemies, especially when you have children with your exes. the game changes. The exes that you have children with, we need to come together and be friends. It does not mean that when we tell you to be friends, then mamboenda no gona komanji manyumba mugona same bedroom. You become friends. It's for the benefit. If you, the two parents, become friends, the children will benefit more. You know, you have to be on the same page and discuss matters because you know each other very well. You have somebody, you have created certain souls in together, and you don't need to point fingers and demean one another and negate one another, but you need to support, especially to your children. Speak positive about your exes to your children, not to kunyoza. Unapala mai wako ule. Unapala wakati wako. You see, such kind of words, then you are not mature. Then there's something wrong with you when you keep on making references to your ex just because you had fallen out with your ex. So basically, that's what I can say on the issue to do with exes. So we have to treat each other with care and with respect, not where you have to negate one another like your public enemy number one. No matter what they did, then you move forward.
Okay, great. So, Wamkelewai, just hold it there. I can see there's Elliot Patton is watching. There's Namwinga. There's also Abia, okay, who's watching from Chipata, Zambia. Please, viewers, we encourage you to just be part of the broadcast. You can just put in a comment there. I think I'll ask the director just to put the number on screen that you can call so that we can also interact and get some of your experiences and we can have this conversation together. We're also sharing the link so that you can come into the studio so that we, delve into further details in terms of dealing with exes. I can see Himba is back. I hope she'll be able to participate this time around. Himba, are you ready for us?
Yes,
Okay.
CJ, I'm here.
She's
Okay,
still
great.
talking to her ex.
I was talking to my ex.
I hope siwakuverengerani mirandu. Yeah. So viewers, let me just push out this disclaimer. The program we are having tonight, we are dealing with exes. So please, whatever we'll be discussing here, we want to educate and help one another. And we are putting out a disclaimer. If at all it's close to one of you, please don't shoot at us and put us in the corner. If there's anyone who is below the age of 18, tipemba, please wauzen wachokepo. The language that is used on this forum is I would say sensitive to young people. Steve Nawana mbomvera mawezi ya akulu and some of these issues. So we are only expecting adults to be listening to this broadcast. Anyone above the age of 18, that is fine.
Abana bamanja aba.
Bana iyai.
Bana bamanja aba. They already know mawezi ayo. Ana googling akudala. Banafunza kudala ba and Siri Uncle Google.
Mungashikule bana pa. So, I'll start with in terms of communication. What kind of communication should be there between an ex, okay, say a married person and an ex? What kind of communication? Let me start with Himba. Himba, your communication ya bwanja minefunika kunkalako, that is acceptable if at all there's anything like that.
For me, CJ, first I have to, I think as we are talking about the issue of my ex, let's also understand, I think my ex tiri mu categories.
Good.
Kuli baja ba ex baba boyfriend one, iba boyfriend and girlfriend, niba ex na beve niba penda. Bakuti maybe niba ex munabala abana niba ex na beve kulati munabala abana. Kuli na ba ex babikwati. So there's a group of exes which are allowed to communicate to each other, and there's a group of exes that are not allowed to communicate. But anyway, again, it also depends on how you ended. Because my ex venang, okay, fine. Why are you communicating to this ex? That's the reason we have to understand. Why are you communicating? If that relationship did not work, how is it going to work out now that you've left each other? But in a situation where you've had children, and you were married, definitely you need to communicate. You need to budget, you need to plan for your children. You need to talk about the welfare yabana. Kulivambi, because muna creating a dollar bond. So here now, it also matters how you also relate to your current wife or your current husband. Because as we are communicating, and again, as you are communicating to this kind, what kind of an ex do you have? When anguba ex kapena banakusia, penze poor. Manje maona vintu va balance, you've met somebody who's looked after you, you are somebody, they want to come. Babula na my intentions. So as you are communicating, you have to really define why you are communicating to each other. So an ex would come, you have it's okay, but the relationship we didn't work.
Okay, connectivity issues there.
Manje wagulako kavitsi, you are able to buy Hungry Lion ibaona kanshi muyandangole kangoli suwe ujawe unaleka ndiye penze drama pamene paja wambofuna baby come back waononga chikwati chako. So first we have to define why this ex, why do you need to communicate? Atabwera ku sleep over. Why to sleep over?
Ale mafuna pumuleko.
Apumula ende paloji. Akagone. Let that person go and book paloji. Agone. Nanga, if I wasn't in Kabwe, where was he going to sleep? So basically, the communication is vital in other cases of the exes. In other cases, it's not even necessary. Because some exes are intoxicated. Some exes, when I'm my ex, they're even jealous. They would come to destroy your current life when you've made it, you've got a happy family. So you have to define. Olabenze bokwatira na uzapeza ambopwerera awe munjereleko nali lupya nali chita chakuti. They'll start all those and then it will just destroy your current life. So first define why you have to communicate to this ex of yours. Is it necessary? Is it worth it? Is it beneficial?
Okay, great. Wamkelebai, in terms of communication, what do you have to say in terms of the aspect of communicating with an ex?
Yeah, that also depends, of course, like Himba put it, to say, depends on the relationship that you have, and also how open you are with your current significant other. Because it is also important that when you have a good relationship with your current, you communicate properly and you don't lie to each other, you don't hide, be samafoni, and you go privately, secretly, you start communicating with your exes. That is a recipe to a lot of doubts and a lot of suspicion. But where you have an open discussion, when you are talking to your ex, your wife is there, and sometimes you even communicate, you talk to your wife to say, hey, my ex was calling and she wanted to talk to you, and they have also that rapport. Then there's nothing to worry. We are human beings. We have to look into that aspect. I will tell you in my own practical example. My exes, I have kids. I have two ex. I have kids with my two ex. My firstborn and my secondborn, my second child. So my current wife has a very good relationship, a rapport with my both two of my first wife and my second, you know. So they communicate over certain things about my kids. Sometimes they just discuss on the plan about the holidays. Where are you taking the kids this year? What is it that I need to contribute towards the outings? Which country are you visiting next year? How much is involved? Should we contribute? Do you expect something? When can our boys come to visit? Our kids can go to them and visit, even organize for certain functions in Zambia. When I come to Zambia, they organize even for game drives. They organize. We don't even pay anything there, but they do those things. They prepare those activities. So the relationship is so very symbiotic and with respect. And the mother to my first child, we are no longer, we treat each other like brother and sister. We even call each other like, you and me, we are no longer like friends, like, with whatever. We consider each other brother and sister. So sometimes I even call her, I can even call her anytime to say, hey, what's up? I was wondering about this and this and this. Anyway, talk to my wife. And
is
then
she married?
She is married, yes. So you find that they have a very good rapport, which is okay. And sometimes we even joke about my shortcomings. They talk about my shortcomings. Oh, he's like this. Oh, yeah, we know him. He is clever like this and this and this. They laugh it out. But that is the kind of relationship that is required between two. You are not having any bad intentions of your other. You trust one another. And my children, they love each other because they are relating. They see how parents are relating, and they are happy. They don't feel left out. They don't feel neglected. They feel belonging, Unlike if I was treating them like they were enemies, like I don't want to hear anything. Meanwhile, I have a child there. How do I communicate?
Yeah, the child.
How do I talk to my child? So it is those issues that are very, very important, that we need to create a good rapport between parents, between two parents who are exes.
Okay, so
even just your normal ex, that girlfriend, you can just become friends with you have to respect them as well. Respect their space, and they will reciprocate.
So right now, I want to bring in another aspect here, and I'll start with Himba. When it comes to Kongeresa Nandarama, okay, lending money to your ex, is it a safe practice? Himba.
Apokainge, Mulkongolesa Nandarama, I think for me that it's a no.
Okay.
It's a no in sense that if when the boyfriend and girlfriend vinasila. So mukakongolesana drama, in what capacity are you kongolesana drama? That's the question. As friends, right? Okay.
Friends, as exes.
For me, it's a no. It's better than the angel you don't know. It's still a no. Because especially I'm looking at where we are coming from. But maybe my ex drama. The next day she will come after Rome. Hey, who do you think you are? Your woman still comes to me. You can't even look after your woman. That's why she comes to me. And basically, this is in a situation where you're just dating. I'm concentrating more over in our country. And to my situations which I've seen, witnessed, and heard. And ngawenze mwakwatira muli na bana mukongolesa na bwanji ngatate wa mwana ufuna support mwana umupaza chendrama mukongolesa za chani. then mukambopindana ngasaza zeta za give the half for the child for the upkeep, it ends there. Unless mwevakambira kuti mwevene okay, there are people who are matured. There are relationship where somebody will say you and me it didn't work out for various reasons, but such are 1 in a million. If a quarter banasiana 10 years ago or 50 years ago bakaonana na winangu angana kumbali batunya na mata, and it's so funny that even the current partners, they join to fight, and they are fighting on an ex maning. We become so insecure. If my husband talks to the ex, I become more insecure. I even start suspecting. In some cases, even when there are children involved, you know. So I don't blame them. I don't even blame those who behave like that, because there are other ex who are not normal. Now, at the moment, I say, he left me, but he's still coming back to me. It's a chain of wahala problems everywhere. So for me, this is a very tricky situation that needs to be managed properly, and all the parties involved, they have to be mature. Otherwise, you are a nobody. Now you are doing well. You know, then you are doing well with another person. They will definitely want to have you back. And they'll even say, yes, so it ends up. So it's a very sensitive and delicate situation, which needs a lot of maturity, CJ.
And what you must understand also, just to add on, what you must understand also is that, you know, it's not just women that when they love somebody or they've fallen out of love, then they would rather not go back there. Even as men, we know ourselves. When you are involved with somebody else and you have developed this true love for your significant other, you know, I don't know. It can't even cross your mind. You know, it won't even cross your mind that you want to go back to your ex. No. Unless you are not happy where you are miserable in a current relationship, and you even miss the good old days that you used to have. And that's why you find that now you will be also yourself. You will be insecure. You want to go back. You are missing those good old days. But when you are in a very, very good relationship that you have moved on and you love your current wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, I don't know where would you even get the energy, because you can't, no matter how you can try, you can't save two masters. You can't.
Munda circumstance.
There's nothing like you can't save two masters. Vantwalo pempari 6. Take 4 masters, take 5 masters. You are saving.
But those are people. Those are people who have a very terrible mindset where they are forgetting actually that they are the ones creating problems for themselves, and also creating problems to those people they are purporting to go back to or they are currently involved in. You see?
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting you. I have to interrupt you on this one. Before I throw in the other one, Namwinga has asked a question, and this relates to the aspect of communication. She says, Director, just give us that comment. Okay, let me just read it out. She says, but if she is married, can you call her anytime? So I think this relates to communication. Can you call your ex anytime? 22, midnight. Hey, Achanu boy. Please make your response short. Let it be a yes or no, and short qualification to your yes or the no. I'll start with you, Kelvai.
Yes and no. May I explain a little bit before you, since you've given me short time. Like I said earlier, that the communication has to be very mature, and there has to be a reason to why you want to go back and talk to your ex. If you are in a very good friendship zone, like you are good friends, that you are not even worried about communicating and at any given time you can, but there's nothing you can worry. Sometimes you can even call the husband to your ex to say, hey, is she there? I have a question. It depends on the relationship that you have. But if you know for the fact that the other person is a drama queen or drama king, and then you also current relationship, she's insecure, you yourself know that you cannot do those things, call at a very wrong hour, at the wrong time. No. But if there are children involved, then yes, you can call, and especially when a child is unwell, it's an emergency. So there are no restriction on that aspect, but not just to go and call just for jokes. Sometimes nabebe bamene muli nawo panyumba bazambera jealous.
Ninkondo hizo. Himba, your quick response on that one.
For me, I would say where there are children, yes, somehow, yes, it depends if there's an emergency. But where there are no children, it's a no, it's in discipline. Because even my sister, you can't call your sister who is, even your friend, you can't call your friend who is married anytime you want to. You can't call your friend who is married midnight. Yeah. No, therefore, I couldn't talk to watch gist in therefore and done therefore. For me, it's a no.
Okay.
You even where there are children, there's somewhere you can go. You have to respect people who are married. A marriage is a marriage, it should be respected. If you've got the gist, which you can wait, let it wait. So it's a no, and it depends.
And it has to be an emergency. Okay. Thank you. So now I'm throwing in another one. I've heard of situations where a person is doing business with an ex. They are doing business together with an ex. Is that a safe arrangement?
Business is business. Thank you so much for that. Business is business. Business is a contractual issue. There are laws involved. When you are running a business, of course, there are laws involved, and you can enter into any contract with your ex for as long as you don't mix business and pleasure together, and you stick to your business for as long as you have your share, you're performing well, you're doing what is expected of you to do in a company or in your business. That's okay. Both parties are and you share your dividends equitably. That's fine by me. There's nothing like, and because you trust one another.
Yeah, so are you saying you'd be very fine, your partner, your wife, doing business with their ex?
Why not?
Okay.
Unless she has the reasons to, I mean, if there are benefits that are benefiting our family, and I can see that there are resources coming, and we see what they're doing is totally is business. Like I said, you don't mix pleasure and business, because in business you have contracts. You have to follow what you are expected of you in your contract, and you stick to that. And when it comes to sharing your dividends, your profits, you do it. Of course, you as a current significant other, you can also participate, for example, in certain little bit of things. And if you want to keep track of what is currently going on, and if the business is profitable and is beneficial, why not? But if where you see that your ex and your wife, they go together and go for workshops, they sleep in the same hotel, in the same room, that can also raise a little bit of suspicion, But at the end of the day, my brother and sisters, muntu mukulu ngati afuna okulakwira, afuna wants to cheat on you, there's nothing you can do. You cannot stop anyone from cheating on you. They can cheat. you can do it without any problem.
My business.
It doesn't have to be business that you don't have to put up a defense, because even your current wife, if she wants to cheat on you today, she can simply walk away and do it. So you don't have to put some restrictions, even start asking or you checking on the phone or whatever. If they want to do it, they can do it. It's their prerogative. They can do it at their own choice, at their own peril. They can take that risk.
Okay, let's also bring in Himba on this one. Himba, business, especially if you're kuno kuzambia ma business yatu, would you be comfortable your partner adding a business, kapina a shop, or with their ex, or would your partner be comfortable with you working na ex wako? Nisho in a business, they are doing some form of business.
Okay, basically, I'm going to first answer on my behalf.
Himba,
are you using the Zambian line today, Himba? Your line is so Zambian.
Be kind with me. Okay, basically, for me, I would say, I wouldn't allow it, CJ. I wouldn't. I think I would rather play it safe, and I wouldn't even advise friends.
Lina Sanje.
Yes, go ahead, Himba.
Be playing. We ndo watenga nyama wika kumlomo kwa imbwa, so ati imbwa inunshako isadieko. I don't think for me that would be the best way to go. Basically, I would
Shaba.
Shaba na mbeba.
My examples are quite extreme, mwe.
So literally, if we talk about the ex doing business, actually maybe communication, they can communicate. Nizaka pesa bapanga na shares baika ni banani kana kumbali nili kuwaya niendo checking wiru banalemba yonse elimuni ba ex. Because basically, if you do business with your ex, why can't you do it with me? And if there are things you still wanted to do with your ex, why can't you
You also could participate. You can take part in the same business because you are a spouse. If you want, you can also buy some shares. Especially when it's a serious business. Not to my business you thought ni person in drama nifuna nenda kuna konde nikagule kwa chani.
Tenge nyama na mboeka kumulomo kwa imbwa.
So
I can't do that. Sininga tenge shaba nike padi Ivo vama shares ifezi imwe mukamba muli my big businesses, but I'll still start small. Definitely, because definitely if my husband is going to do business with you, he will spend more time with the ex. Bazambo kamba, bazambo chitachani, and then as people have said, I'd want to play it safe. Mweba kambila munda wakale suvutolima. Bazayamba pangono. Bazaika pali munda wakale, bazaika waikepo ma mansion.
Ayo ndiye ma-idioms yamene amilesa kuchitati muchite develop problem. Ndiye amilesa kuti muchite develop. Ngati Verani. What if you know for the fact that your ex work alina talent good at what she's doing? The business.
Why didn't you dump your ex? She was good. Why didn't you keep her?
You have some misunderstanding and you're no longer together. But then you realize the potential.
Another one.
You realize the potential in her. Why can't you take on him? Take advantage.
So hold on, while we are talking about doing business with your ex, what about working with your ex? Kunchito, whether ni boss wako, I mean, as in your partner working with your ex, or you I mean your ex and your wife or partner or husband working in the same office.
would you rather resign just because your ex is still in the same office with you? Ndiye nankani ya kuma church because ex aenda ku church kwa, so then do you have to change your church, your beliefs? Pamena wachinja no hapa ni zankala Islam, ni zankala Muslim or zankala Buddhist because mukazi wanga ex ni Christian. That is now that's an extreme step that you are going to take. If you decide to do so, you can still have a good relationship with your ex for as long as you do not mix business and pleasure. Like I said, you know, the same Bembas, they have these idioms where they say, "Imbo teti wekere kumalushi." You call it malushi. You see, and at the same time, I nama idioms. Now we start treating our exes so differently, or even just our relatives so differently.
Okay, Mom Keleba, I have a question. Okay, I have a question. In a situation where, like the way you're saying, no, but ex, but we don't have treating us so. So, Nisha, at the end of the day, what do you want to benefit from that ex? What is your benefits? What are your intentions from there?
No, if you realize there's potential, there's something that you are good at, or that the other partner, the other your ex is good at certain things, you can also make recommendations.
So you didn't see those things until when you went separate ways.
When you
see those things until when you went separate ways.
No, it doesn't mean that when you realize somebody's potential, then you have to get them back. No. Ngati mwankalama ex, you've moved on. But what I'm saying is, here's a situation where you know, for example, you have a child with this person, and then she's very good at running a certain business. And then you know for the fact that you can try to find other people that you don't know. But meanwhile, you know the potential your ex has. Why not? Why can't you try that? If also that ex of yours is also trustworthy and also knows and understand that that you can still trust in terms of delivery, in terms of doing her job, but she cannot mix business and pleasure. Why can't you do it? Why can't you go for it? You know, that's how you find that other people.
In the whole world, or among all your friends, the only person who's got the skills you are looking for business, it's on your ex. Even your sisters, even your whole family, they don't have it, on your ex, and you dumped her at one point. And then after she becomes your ex, she develops these skills.
Yeah. So why not? Why can't you hire her? Just because of your jealous, because of your ego, because you are scared that you may put your current relationship in jeopardy?
So thank you very much, viewers. You're watching Pansaka on a Thursday, and tonight the topic we are looking at is dealing with exes. There's a number that is on the screen that you can call through and participate in tonight's program. The number is 0971 712953. 0971 2953. You can call that number and get through to the studio. Please, you can also drop a comment in the comment section. The link has also been shared, so make sure you use that link and join the studio so that we can interact together. Okay, so we are looking at dealing with exes, and it's a one thing we are saying business, no sevens and our na ex is very slippery grounds. Yeah, and I brought in the issue of kuchech ngatumpempera pamozi na ex. Maybe you should make a move. Is that a logical move? That prayer partner. Is it possible that ex work on prayer partner? Let me start with Himba. Himba. Okay, wamkelebai. Ex wako angankale prayer partner wako.
Yes, angankale prayer partner wanga, in a sense that we are all serving God and we have trust and we believe that we no longer, and we trust one another that we no longer a thing together. We tried, it failed, and then we have to move on. But we are stuck with this religion that we trust and we have faith in our Lord. Why not? Why not? You know.
And in terms of feeling insecure, if say your partner says they want their ex to be their prayer partner, or claims their ex is their prayer partner.
The question is, what happens when you go to these prayer partners? What do you do? Ngati mumachita vintu vinango.
Maybe.
Ngati mumachita vintu vinango. Prayer partnership.
Maybe you are talking in the Western world, but in our African context, even by the time you realize it, food number 2.
Question. What goes on? You know, the problem is ngati pasa umbrella yoktati we don't have self-control ourselves. We can't control ourselves. We can't trust ourselves.
This is the reality. There is no way somebody had. If people who were friends can end up to be lovers. People who were lovers can never end up to be friends. But the thing is, we do these things because of our nature. Even understand correctly that in a boundary even when men balabana in our couch, in our society, just because they lie. These are the things that happen.
That's where I said, at the end of the day, it's the person, it's the trust and the reasonability, the reasonableness in you and in the other, in your.
If you love somebody, you know, for me,
if you are crooked, yes, you will pray.
Okay, this is my point, and our viewers or my fellow ladies there. One, don't feel insecure when your husband is interacting with your ex, but be careful and play it fair. You are in control. You are in the driving seat of that house or that marriage. So mukazi we anakangiwa chikwati, we anakangiwa shita manage mwamuna take mfine. If you vakuti my business transaction, why so wanayachite pewenze vonse. So if they can talk high as friends, that they maintain their distance, it's okay. They maintain as friends, common friends, yes. Not at we can do business. No. Working environment, basically for me, if I'm in a decision-making position, I would even want to say, okay, can I be transferred to a different? My boyfriend, it's different. But if it was a relationship where you courted, you went very far, very deep, I would request for a transfer to another department for the sake of my integrity, for the sake of my principles to make decisions in the right, because I've got feelings, I'm human. So I don't want to lie at all. It's a no. An ex is an ex, mama. Daddy, let's handle our ex with caution. We respect them, they are human beings. And handle me with caution. Because it's just a chain reaction. Handle me with caution.
It's like we don't trust ourselves.
So when you say we don't trust ourselves, the issue of my temptation. The more time you spend with someone, the more let me say, the more time you're spending, there's a bonding that happens.
What will stop you? What will stop you from those temptations when your ex, you know you have your exes or plenty of them, you're a queue of exes. What will stop you from those temptations when you pretend to be not in contact with your exes, when you know that you can still sneak and go back and do it, because no one can stop you. Like I told you to say, muntu mukulu ngatachita decide kwenda kuli ex or kwenda kuli muntu ina or want to cheat on you. no matter how happy you may be in a relationship, they can still cheat. They can still go ahead and do it. But where it is an open relationship, you see they are opening, the communication is okay, they still at your benefit. But at least it is even there on a silver platter. You are able to see, you are able to control, you are able to trust. But if you don't trust, why not? Because do you want them to cheat? That's why people cheat, because of this kind of open. If you are not open to your significant other or to your ex, and you want to choose the other way around, the muteness, the quietness, where you have to do it secretly. I'm telling you, watch them secretly. You know.
Secretly. But when
it's open, I'll tell you. May I give you a practical example? I'll give you a practical example, which happened to me. You know, I was being a Zambian guy. When the first time I came to this place, Kubulaya Kuno, Nairimu class, I was learning some language in this class, and kwali tuwa kashana with, you know, utuingi oto twaike mu class, and these were back Russia, and you know I'm a Russian women, the way of Moneka, Vasuma, very tall, beautiful eyes, beautiful. Then one of the woman was a friend, became a friend mu class, okay. Nishini nkwata ine girlfriend want kunganda. Okay. One night, I sat to my phone mukashana. Nishina kakolwa kali kuba kantumina phone ati yo ndefu akobwa kwirisho, can you come, I'm alone here. Ndefu akomwise mpereko transport ndiye kunganda. Drive me if you are not drinking. So ine kunganda kulia nali nabakashi. Nachita pretend that I even ignored. But I said who called? So nati Nimkashano wasona so nalimushiba. You know her. Yeah, I know. Not I'm not going. Bushi kubuno. Bali nkalipire. Abakashi. Nishibarifi wa girlfriend. Why? You don't know why this person has called you? Go and make sure that she's home safe. Imwe, can you cheat? I went. Nalia fikakulia with a blessing from my current wife. Na afika kulia nakasanga mukashana kamona fe kabu tukakambo kumpera mahagi. Oh, you have come, thank you. Oh, I thought you please it's good. Mtwane ni kunganda twaya kunganda naba twala ba mayo kwafika kulia good night bena balifa kuingira muri kiss. Do you know what happened? Ine ichanjikete kumutima ni that allowance of giving me the permission to drive that person kunganda, then imbwele. So I couldn't do anything. Na lefo kuleta bu Zambianization want the real men. Nokulati injini ni nepa and then imdemati Kalia, that beautiful blonde whatever Russian. Na lifika po kuita ukufilwa na wekera kunganda na even confessed kumukashi nati mwani ngani kuzambia iwo kuntuma kumukashini umbi. I've never heard of this thing before, but that encouragement, it is the one that made me to realize, to say, imagine she allowed me and I had an opportunity to do it, but I did not. I realized I respected her, you know. I respected. So it takes just
let me put it this way, it may be that is one of a kind situation. But if we're here in Zambia.
But I'm Zambian.
Such things are there, they happen. They are there, they happen, I agree. But to be honest with you, it's 1 out of a million. 1 out of a million for such things to happen.
You know, forever umena ifovene twalikwata ama feelings. Tulatina na ifovene, tulatina. kuyaingira mu bakashi bavene tulatina. I'm telling you, we have this also. We are
That
scared.
example is not Zambian.
Huh? All over there, they go. I'm telling you, they are just going there to pretend to create a picture as though they are busy sleeping around. Me no, bali amukunwa nama friends babo, or they're just hanging out with friends. Then imwe kunganda mwachita dramatize ifintu. Mambo checking on my phones, mambo kuchita news. You create this monster in your head. Sometimes you do create those monsters for no reasons. Sometimes when you start pushing a narrative every now and then, you keep on talking about the same thing, you will push that person to do the same exact thing. And when he does, then you find that you'll be numb. You have no clue on what to do, how to go about. So sometimes it's the trust that we must also push forward. Trust your significant other. They can cheat whenever, they can do anything. You can't stop them. You can't stop them. No matter how you may pray, no matter how you may do whatever, you cannot stop an adult from cheating. They can do it. We're at a very blink of an eye. However, but you need to trust.
Somebody has to
Not
play
putting
it
up with my restrictions.
Somebody has to play it safe. You know, it depends also in the community where you are, the cultural values, and it also depends on the kind of a person you're married. But for us, these exes and everything, they've costed relationships, they've costed marriages. For me, I think it's better you play it safe. The way you entertain your ex, don't blame anybody at the end of the day.
But it's all about you yourself with self-control. If you can't control yourself, how else is your husband going to trust you? How else? Because it is inevitable. One can fall into, you can fall back. If you are easily tempted by your ex, then your husband will be actually reasonable to stop you from contacting your ex because you are weak, because you know that you cannot, he knows that you cannot trust yourself. You cannot trust you. You can't control yourself. You'd rather keep you away from, but you are an adult, you're not in prison. You can pick a phone and call your ex anytime you want, even without the knowledge of your current. So it's all about.
I can't call my ex whenever I want because I also look at my personal integrity. If this man, we separated or he left me for another woman, I've got no reason to call him anytime I want. I've got no time to be bragging into his life anytime I want. Because which means at the time we went separate ways, we agreed that we are not best for each other at that level. So basically, for my self-integrity and for the other person who is in my life, I would rather play it safe.
But he cannot stop you. It's you who makes that decision to say you want to play it safe because you know yourself. You know your strength. You know your weaknesses. Isn't it? And you know the past. You know the kind of treatment your ex made you pass through. And therefore, that's why you are playing that card of playing it safe. And you want to preserve, and you don't want to plant a seed of doubt in your current significant other. So that's why it takes you and a person. It's up to you, an individual, how you want, because your husband cannot stop you from doing what you want. He can't. It's you at the end of the day. And also at the end of the day, it's him, because he knows you. Should he contact your ex, his ex, when he knows how you are going to react and how you are going to conclude, or how the relationship in a home is going to be? So at the end of the day, it takes you yourself as an individual, self-control, reasonability, and just being yourself. So no matter how we may try to put it to my restrictions, no, you can't do sininga ende na kuchurch because kuli my ex kuja. Sininga ende kunchito because kuli ex. Then you are going to stop your life. You are going to put a full stop. You are not living your own life. You are living your life because you want to teach either your ex a lesson or you want to avoid your ex. So therefore, you must live your life freely. You don't have to fear anybody. You can, at the end of the day, it's you, yourself. That's what I can say.
Basically, these issues of relationships, when we are talking about relationships, we are talking of issues of the heart. And the issues of the heart, to me, they are very sensitive and delicate issues. They can either destroy or build. Inga muntu munasiyana, you've left each other. For me, I don't see any reason that why they should come back when I've met somebody and they occupied a bigger chunk of my life. No. I think for me, that's my when people say munda wakale, there are many reasons why people go separate ways. Some they go separate ways because naturally society separated them. If given the opportunity to go back to each other, they will. But then they happen to go, but they meet at a time when there's another person in your life. How many people are going to be injured? How many people are going to be hurt? So for me, some ex are genuine. You may be friends. You can even meet for a couple. But the ex are I'll do anything. Some even people they even say, if I can't have you, no one will have you. And such things in our society, they happen and they are very common. So for me, I would literally say, mind the way you handle your ex, mind what you allow in your life, because business chani vantu vazapayana. When I was going poison, let me make it a poison so that I can have my man back. Let me put poison so that I can have her back. You know, all such kind of thing. You people, you had feelings. You separated probably. Muzakamba tina separated because tenze bafana, tina separated shibefionale chita, you had feelings. So why should you now start digging the old wounds? The business pamos. You are a good planner. You are a good proposal writer. No, accept what you have and build from what you have. Entertaining your ex into your bedroom, you are digging your own grave. For me, I would say it's a no. Vinasila.
Not in the bedroom. That's another issue. That's now cheating.
All right, lady and gentlemen.
Entertaining your ex into your bedroom, I mean to accommodate them into your personal space. Because munga business, mulemba ma proposal babidi, mulemba ma budget babidi. You spend more time together.
What are you trying to tell me here? What about a normal person who is of the opposite sex, and you are doing business together? Can't also that be a worrisome issue? So no, is it okay?
It can. And whether in the Western world, in the world, what ends up into a relationship. But what we are saying, where there is an ex involved, everywhere it happens. Let's just handle it safe, play it safe. Can't what's happened to my ex. We've game me my ex. So Chenchati playing a game nicely, game me my ex.
Okay, all right. So as we are going to the end of the program, I want us just to have a quick summary, and in your conclusion, you give what you feel are the do's and the don'ts in relation to dealing with an ex. Let me start with you, Bomkerebai, and I hope you can do this, I think, in 4 minutes.
Okay. The do's, I think we have already explained that we know who our exes are. We know what they are capable of doing. We know how tempting they can be. So at the end of the day, the key is in your hands, whether to allow them in your life or whether to not to allow them in your life. It is entirely up to you. It is entirely up to you. But when children are involved, that you have no choice, because you are going to be involved with them. No matter what, at the weddings, when your children are getting married, when the children are having children, your grandkids are coming, you will meet on their parties, on their whatever, confirmation, on the all those things you have to. But that's why you need to create a good rapport, a good relationship with your exes, so that you do not jeopardize the relationship between you and your children together with their parents. So it is important that we need to come together on this aspect. But where you have just an ex that you know was abusive, that you know was not respectful, that you know that was really degrading, they treated you differently, badly, and then you actually were imprisoned. This person was a psychopath. Then I would advise that it was good riddance, and you should know it well, that you cannot bring such people back and bring you back to suffer the same traumatic experiences that you went through. You know, you can have secondary trauma, that if you went through the first trauma, you can still have a secondary trauma upon just looking at the person that was abusive, that treated you terribly. So it is entirely up to you personally to decide whether to bring that person back into your life in a friend zone, or to do away with such people completely, so that they do not affect your current relationship or jeopardize your current relationship with your significant other. So it is important to be together, and it's up to you. Like I said, an adult cannot be restricted or told what to do. You can decide to either cheat, it is entirely up to you, or you decide not to. It is entirely up to you. So no matter what restrictions we may put, or we may say, or no matter how idioms we may follow, at the end of the day, the decision or the ball is in your court. If you want to destroy your marriage, you want to destroy your current relationship by going back to your exes, doing the exact things that you did with them, then it is you who is putting your relationship in jeopardy. And it is you who's going to suffer the consequences. So it is entirely up to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wankerebai. Thank you, Twalumba. Himba.
Thank you so much, CJ. All I would say is that issues of the heart are very sensitive issues, very delicate. It needs men and women to handle them. It needs matured and principled people to handle them. As I said, let's not play in the lion's den. Prevention is better than cure. Me, I would say whatever situation you find yourself, play it safe. Remember, you're not the only person involved or who's going to suffer. There are other people who are connected. If there are things that did not work out in the past, I mean, let the sleeping dogs continue lying. Don't go and start waking them up. Play it safe. If we to Alishba community so forever. So at whichever level, always decide to be on a safer side. Protect your interest, guard your heart, guard your marriage, guard your relationship, and also respect your partner. For me, that's what I would say. People say, there's a song which says, "Chalo at mutwe wa munole, chalo chimbi." You not understand the intentions of the other person. You may mean well to them when they don't mean well to you. As I said, play it safe and good night.
Thank you very much, Himba. Viewers, there you have it. There are partners who say, I trust you, but I don't trust your ex. And Himba says, play it safe. Well, we've had an exciting 1 hour, 25 minutes looking at this topic of dealing with exes. Viewers, it is up to you to judge the situation that you are in. We have had different explanations as well as advice given relating the issue of handling the ex. Whatever you do, make sure you tread carefully and you don't find in a situation where you regret later on. I want to say thank you for being part of tonight's broadcast. Make sure that you follow our Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get notifications whenever we are live, and whenever we have a program, that notification pops up and you're able to follow the activities of Ubuntu channel. Well, concerning the question that we had from the lady that the ex wanted to have a sleepover, I think I need to get back and find out if the sleepover is in progress or not. Otherwise, we'll advise you next week what the outcome or how those things went through. I just want to thank you from me, Kelewai, Himba, our director, Emmanuel, the people that participated via comments and SMSs. There was Namwinga. Okay, if I don't mention you, forgive me. I can see there's also Elliot and everyone who sent a comment. We want to say thank you. Make sure you make a date for next week's exciting program of Pansaka on Thursday, 20 hours, when we're going to look at yet another exciting topic dealing with a social life and everyday activities that we go through. This is Jubon Jule signing off and saying good night. See you next time.